ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. O worshipful ones, may we with our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we live our allotted life hale and hearty, offering our praises unto Thee. May Indra of ancient fame bestow auspiciousness on all of us. May the all-nourishing portion be propitious to us. May Garuda, the destroyer of all evil, be well disposed towards us. May Brihaspati ensure our welfare. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.
So we are studying the Kaivalya Upanishad. Therein we have seen that how the one supreme reality has become everything. In the 8th mantra, this fact has been beautifully put. He who is the Nirguna Brahma is Saguna Brahma, and he who is the Saguna Brahma is the Nirguna Brahma. And while describing the universal aspect or Saguna Brahma aspect, here it is so beautifully put: Sa Brahma, Sa Shivaha, Sa Indraha, Sa Aksharaha, Paramaswarat, Sa Eva Vishnuhu, Sa Pranaha, Sa Kalaha, Agnihi, Sa Chandramaha. So Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Srishtikarta, Sthitikarta, and Layakarta. But at the same time, so many aspects. So Indra is the Lord of the strength, Lord of the hands, and he is at the same time Aksharaha, that which is undecayable, indestructible, Paramahaswarat. He is the supreme, and he is his own master. Swarat. Rat means king, he who rules. He is his own ruler. Why? Just like when a person becomes or lives alone and nobody is there. So he is his own master. Whatever he decides to do, everything affects him only. And here pure consciousness, so there is no division, subject-object, ruler and ruled, this and that, superior and inferior, nothing is there. Sayeva pranaha. But he himself became the universe, and that universe has to be sustained. What is the very first aspect of sustenance? Pranaha. That is jivatvam, pranatvam in every jiva. This fact I have emphasized many times. Prani and Chaitanyam, they both go together all the time. We have to be very careful about it. Sa pranaha, a prani, means a jivatma, means a person who is aware of himself. And then Sakalaha, and he only manifested as Kala. In fact, what we call creation is nothing but Kala and Agnihi. This is one of the Panchabhutas. Sa Chandramaha. He is the moon. So moon sustains us, the sun sustains us, the fire sustains us, the Vayu sustains us, and everything sustains us. Us means what? It is only Saguna Brahma who is manifesting as Ishvara, as Chit, and as Achit. Everything is He. So He is Brahma, He is Shiva, He is Indra, He is the immutable, He is the supreme, He is the self-luminous, He is the Vishnu, He is Prana, He is time, and He is fire, and He is the moon. Another way of telling is that accepting Brahman, nothing else exists. This idea is continued in Mantra 9, which we had been speaking about in our last class. Sayeva sarvam yadbhutam yaccha bhavyam sanatanam gnatvatam mrutyam atyeti nanyah pantha vimuktaye. So we have more or less finished this mantra, but what does it mean? So He alone is all that was, all that will be, the external world, and knowing Him as such, as what? As all that was, all that is, all that will be, and beyond time. So past, present, and future are concepts of time. We are under the ignorance. And ignorance is what? Ignorance is manifestation of time, space, and causation. So I was born, and that was so many years back, so much time back. I am now, I am growing up, and each one of us, though we are not dead, but we have a concept that we won't be here. And this concept is being made so that we can remember all the time. Hindus offer their prayers to the ancestors, and especially at Gaya, at Prayagraj, and at Varanasi. Especially, there is a time just before Durga Puja, that is called Pitru Kala. And during that time, it is not really very important every time. So why are we asked to offer prayers to the ancestors? One, that means there is no death. They are there, but they have taken another body. And whenever we take a body, all our relationships will be only bodily relationships. But with the death of the disappearance of the body, and disappearance can be in many ways. When we are in deep sleep, there is no bodily relationship. When we are in the coma, unconscious state, or somebody, a doctor, administers anesthesia, we are not in that state of relationship with the body. Of course, after death, until a new body is acquired, we don't have relationship with the body. In fact, even while we are dreaming, we don't have relationship with the physical body. We have an idea, we have a body, but this body is a subtle body. It is a vritti, it is a thought in the mind, but so far as physical body is concerned, we are not aware of it. How come? That is what we have been discussing in the, especially Mandukya Upanishad. In dream, a person feels he has gone away from where he was and he finds himself in a foreign place, or next door neighbor also is sufficient. But when his dream is broken, he finds his own body here. So which body is being experienced when this person was in that foreign country or neighboring house? It is the memory, thought of that being, not the physical body that we see here. So many times we can forget the body. In fact, the greatest part of human life is spent forgetting the body. In between every thought, we forget the body. Deep sleep, we forget the body. And whenever we are absorbed in the thought of any object, we forget our body. You may be thinking that I am seeing a tree, but actually, while the tree is in the mind, it is in the form of a thought, idea. This is a tree. And as long as our attention is riveted on that particular thought, our body idea is completely suppressed. So very rarely we remember the body. Of course, it is needless to say we forget other people's bodies much greater way than our own bodies. Kala, time. Whoever has got concept of time, he has also got concept of timelessness. That is called duality. If you are aware of cold, you are aware of heat. If you are aware of good, you are aware of evil also. So this is the very fabric, very nature of our mind. This is what is being said. There is only one pure consciousness. So whether we are aware of the body or of the mind or of ignorance in the state of avarana shakti or state of covering up the reality, our witnessing consciousness, which is witnessing all the three states, the Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti, that is never forgotten. Awareness can never become unawareness. Awareness can forget everything else, but not itself. It is impossible because its very nature is awareness. That is called Chaitanyam. So the same idea in Mandukya also about Omkara, so yad bhutam, yad bhavyam, yaccha bhavyam, and it is Sanatanam, it is eternal. Eternal means beyond the concept of time. And we have very little idea about this. This is the description of Brahman. And whoever knows that pure consciousness, which is beyond both the concepts of time as well as timelessness, that is called Sanatanam. Because when a person attains to that state, even the idea that I am also the world, or in beautiful words, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, that awareness is also gone. That is why Sri Ramakrishna's words are so deep. He is mentioning, giving an example. Once Lakshmana and Sri Rama were walking, and there was an incident where Vasishta, the greatest Gnani at that time, he had many sons. They were all killed, and he was weeping. And then Lakshmana was surprised. Brother, how come such a great Gnani, he is weeping? And Sri Rama smiles and gives a very enigmatic reply. He says, brother, where there is knowledge, there is ignorance. And that is a very profound statement. So where there is knowledge, there is ignorance. Where there is cold, there is heat. Where there is evil, there is good. And still we are in the realm of Saguna only, not Nirguna. And now it is being said, when we go beyond time, we go both the concept of both Saguna as well as Nirguna. Please remember, the concepts of Saguna and Nirguna, both are vrittis in the mind. We are not talking about what we call real Brahman. Real Brahman cannot be thought, cannot much less expressed. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. So that is being said here. Sayeva sarvam yadbhutam yaccha bhavyam sanatanam. Gnatvatam. Knowing. Knowing means here there are two types of knowledge. Becoming one is one type of knowledge, and just aware of something different or awareness of the otherness is another type of knowledge. All the time we are experiencing this one. We are eating a sweet, we are aware of the sweet, we are aware of the sweetness of the sweet, we are aware of the effect of the sweet, we are aware of the memory of that experience. It's all an object. But there is another, and that is being expressed, that is by attainment of that knowledge, the person gets rid of all duality. That is why Advaita is beautifully termed as non-duality. That is why it is called Advaita. Dvaita, not Eka, not one, but not one, not two. So Advaita means neither one, nor two, nor many, nor one. That is the idea. They said this is called Gnatva, means becoming one. Tam means that truth, becoming one with knowledge, not in the sense of our worldly knowledge, where there is what we call Triputi, the person who knows, the object which he knows, and the process of the generated knowledge. No. So having realized Mrityum Atyeti, a person goes beyond Mrityu. So what is Mrityu? Here Mrityu means limitedness. Janma is limitedness because it happened in time. Growth is limited because every millisecond I would say, everybody is changing. And of course death. That is why Bhagavan Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the very essence of all these Upanishads, he said that the manifest comes from the unmanifest, and the manifest goes back into the unmanifest, and that manifestation is called Janma, and that which is manifest, and again it goes back beyond our experience, perceptibility, and that is called Mrityu. That is being said here, Janma Mrityu Atyeti. That means there is no limitation at all. There is no neither manifestation nor non-manifestation. Atyeti na anyah pantha vimuktaye. This is a beautiful word that comes in again and again. Tam gnatva. Only I know that Purusha who is Vedaham etam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam. What is Aditya Varnam? Of the brilliance of the sun. Here brilliance doesn't mean our experience of light. It means beyond both light and darkness. When we say this is daytime, then we are aware of light. When we say this is night, we are aware of darkness. But this going beyond both darkness and light, That is called tamasaha parastat. Aditya varnam tamasaha parastat. And that is the only way. There is no other way. Nanyah pantha vidyate ayanaya. Here, slight change of the words. Na anyah pantha. There is no other way. Vimuktaye. To put it in simple words, that either a person is limited or he is unlimited. When a person becomes unlimited, he cannot be limited. As long as a person is limited, he cannot be unlimited. Only by identifying oneself with unlimited can a person go beyond both Janma, Mrityu, etc. And that is called Amrutatvam. And that is what is being described here so beautifully. One goes beyond time, space and causation forever. That means one goes beyond the mind. And once a person goes beyond the mind, the idea of bondage and as well as the idea of liberation, both are completely destroyed. And that is the only way. Nanya pantha vidyate vimuktaye. For pure liberation, there is nothing else. But we are far from there. So a beautiful mantra is being given now. We are in a lower state. We are still sadhakas far away from the truth. The goal has been beautifully described, but the same goal, what is the next step? That is seeing God everywhere. This is called seeing God everywhere. And this has been so beautifully put forward in the first mantra of the Kaivalya Upanishad. Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. In this world, whatever we see, what do we see? Various things, billions of things. Really? No. That is only just as on a cinema screen, what do we see? Various objects. But an ignorant person thinks, I am seeing a human being, animal, bird, and then human beings, and mountains, and rivers, so many things. But a knowing person knows everything is nothing but the different manifestations of one light. How do we know? As put up the light, the whole cinema screen goes dark. You can't even see the screen. It is all a play of the pure consciousness. That is the pure consciousness says, it is cold, it is hot, this is good person, that is an evil person, this is desirable thing, that is undesirable thing. Every thought we have has to be illumined first by awareness. And minus you switch off that awareness, for example, when a doctor gives anesthesia, so we cannot experience anything. So this like that, what to look for in this world? See only Ishvara. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. And not only hriddeshe, he is there in the body, he is there outside the body, he is inside the body, he is the body. And that was the lesson Prahlada had taught to his father Hiranyakashipu, that where is not God? Even you are able to perceive this pillar, and only because of Narayana. What is that? To put it in simple terms, this is a pillar. This pillar exists. And that pillar is experienced only because of that existence, that pure consciousness in the form of Sat. And then we become aware of it is a tall, it is a round, it is of Sachi. circumference, that is called form. And that form is called a pillar. And this is a pillar. That is called knowledge. That is called Chit. This Sat and Chit must be there. Then Ananda must be there. A child wants to whirl round and round and round. What does he do? Holds up the pillar and goes round and round. He never lets the pillar go. So this is an example. Actually, it is an analogy, simile. But what is that? This aham feeling is there. I am. That, of course, is pure consciousness. But aham shariraha, that is the first awareness of bondage. I am a body, and body is limited. A mosquito's body is much more limited, and a human body is much less limited, nevertheless limited. And as the wise saying goes, mosquito requires food, mosquito wants to propagate itself, and mosquito wants to eat food. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunancha samanametat pashubir naranam. So this is the first awareness of limitedness. And I was born at this time. Even a mosquito, we may not elicit the answer from it. But supposing you catch hold of a, let us say, old mosquito and a female mosquito, and you are asking that a question. So, who are you? So, I am a mosquito. How old are you? So, I am so many years old. And are you as good as when you were young? No, I am not. Hardly I am able to see. That is why I am afraid to come near you, because I will be very easy victim. All these things, if you can imagine, talking with a mosquito. And do you know that mosquito also talks with you? No, mosquito doesn't talk with you. It sings lullaby so that you can sleep and allow it to come near you. Beautiful singer, world famous singer. How do you know? Everybody becomes alert as soon as they hear it. So this is the condition. What am I talking? If you think you are great because you are a human being, and if you think a mosquito is not great because it's that is whose viewpoint? Your ignorant viewpoint, not the mosquito's viewpoint. So everything in this world, it exists, and the knowledge of it we get, that is called vritti jnanam. That is knowledge of the object in our minds, and everything has got what is called ananda. Can a mosquito give me ananda? Of course, it gives you much more ananda than you get from eating even the sweetest sweet. How? So a mosquito is coming, and you become aware of it, and you slap it, and at the very first attempt, you are able to finish it. And just compare that happiness that you feel at that time, relieved, to after eating sweet, you are thinking 100 thoughts. Is it going to make me certified by the doctor? You are a very sweet person. And all these things you will think. No, you have got worries. Here what? I have removed one obstacle. Ananda is there. But if the mosquito succeeds and you are not aware of it, and it sucks your blood, then you are not happy when you come to know about it. Really speaking, I have seen people lying by the side of the road, and where drainage, sewage water is flowing freely, you think that mosquitoes are not sucking their blood, and they are blissfully unaware of it. They develop much more immunity than anybody else. But what I am talking, that pure consciousness is the very root which recognizes existence, which recognizes the knowledge vritti jnanam, and every vritti jnanam gives ananda. But even an unhappiness is only gives happiness later on. Delayed happiness is called unhappiness. Expressed happiness is immediate happiness. Sat Chit Ananda. So we are still in this Guna Brahma, because in the Nirguna Brahma concept, the Sat Chit Ananda doesn't work at all. It is only for contemplation, for meditation. And how that meditation has to be done is going to come very soon, we are going to see. And this very idea has been beautifully expressed in that, as I mentioned, the Kaivalya Upanishad, that Isavasyam edagum sarvam yat kincha. Whatever is there, whatever was, whatever is, and whatever is going to be, the whole thing is nothing but Ishvara only. I do not exist. You do not exist. My thinking that I exist separately from God is avidya. Your thinking you exist separately from both me as well as Ishvara, that is also the result of avidya only. So these are all effects of the avidya. No, in reality, just as you know, that is why study of the dream, especially in comparison with the waking state, yields tremendous amount of intellectual understanding. Just as a person, he goes anywhere in a very short time, any distance, experiences many weird things, and he comes back to the waking state. Many people only prefer dream state rather than to the living state. Many people live only in a dream state. If they analyze, it is their thought world that they are living in, not the reality. If we do not know the reality of this world, then we are in for a great shock. Whenever the wars are taking place, it is the profound ignorance. We are different, you are different, you are inferior, we are superior, etc., etc., etc. This is the cause of war. A real sincere spiritual seeker, how should he proceed? And that is what Bhagavad Gita also reflects the same thought. And after quoting that, I will come to this 10th mantra. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvancha mayi pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. He who beholds himself in everything in this world, and it doesn't discriminate between the living and non-living, and he who beholds everything in himself. That means there is no I or you, there is no duality. Sachamena pranashyati, I also do not forget him. Pranashyati means he doesn't get destroyed, I also don't get destroyed. What does it mean? It means destruction comes only from the concept of duality. He is beating me or I am beating him. He is going to kill me, I am going to kill him. This is all ignorance. Just as we see in a drama, nobody kills anybody. And sometimes some dramas, some cinemas, where the same fellow acts both as a hero and also as a hero, what is called villain, and one person. So the hero ultimately conquers the villain and the villain falls dead. Is it really happening or is it only an appearance? Just as it is an appearance on the screen, so also everything that is happening in our waking state is only a mere appearance, and that is due to the power of avarana shakti and vikshepa shakti. So what does it mean? Pranashyati means he will be free from the thraldom of birth and death, janma and mrityu. The same thing, that he will attain one-ment, oneness with Brahman. Thereafterwards, he is not going to fall down again. That is being expressed here, or rather, this is the mantra which Bhagavan Krishna had taken, because he is the Karta, the author of the Vedas, and he knows Vedas better than anybody. He rephrased it in easier language, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mayi Pashyati, and same thing here, Sarvabhutastam Atmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mayi Pashyati, Sampashyan Brahma Paramam Yati Na Anyena Hetuna. Paramam Yati Na Anyena Hetuna. What does it mean? Experiencing one's own self in all beings, and all beings in one's own self. Such a sadhaka attains the highest Brahman. And there is no other way, no other means, excepting by this realization that there is only one, there is no duality at all. Now, very easy for us to understand this one. There is no need. This actually has been said earlier also. How, when the very first time this Ashvalayana had come, and he approached Pitamaha, that is the propagator of Guru system, in the form of flow of the knowledge. That is why the very word Shruti. Shruti means what? The Brahma spoke, and that was heard by his disciple. And that disciple, in course of time, had realized the truth and then passed on that truth in the form of speech, in the form of words, to his disciple. This is why it is called Shruti Parampara, or this is how Guru Sishya Parampara. So what did the Pitamaha said? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogad Avaihi. No, or fulfill your desire, which is you wanted to realize Brahman, only when you are endowed with Shraddha Bhakti and Dhyana and Yoga. Now what is important? Whether a person is literate, illiterate, it doesn't matter. If a person is endowed with Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana. So these three words are very, very important. What is Shraddha? That which possesses us like a ghost and doesn't allow us to do anything excepting what it wants us to do. This is called Shraddha. And what is Bhakti? That all the mind, all the thoughts, all the imaginations, everything is directed towards what the Shraddha is indicating. That's your goal. That is called Bhakti. And whatever is going to happen in future, I am imagining, a person is imagining, and that is called Dhyana. Yoga means whatever actions he does, just as the example of a mother is given by Ramakrishna and many places also. Once a baby is born, the whole of the mother's attention is riveted completely on the baby. And even whether a person is a fanatic or whatever it is. And for me, a beautiful example is coming to my mind. We know that soon after the passing crucifixion of Jesus Christ, a new sect has separated itself from the Jews. And then they are calling themselves Christians. That is, we believe in Jesus Christ and He is the Savior and God Himself is directing us through Him, and we have that Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana and Yoga in Jesus Christ's teachings. And as usual, the Orthodox people, just like Orthodox people tortured Sri Ramakrishna and especially Swami Vivekananda. How much they tortured Swami Vivekananda. So any new reform, any deviation, slightest new interpretation, Orthodox people, they are just like worms who are so much fixated, glued to their own ideas, they are not open for any other idea to come in. Same thing happened in Christianity, same thing happened in Islam. How many great realized souls they had burned, they have killed, they have tortured, they have unimaginable torture has been given to these Sufi saints. And when we read the life history of such Sufi saints, we understand, I don't see any difference between them and like Tyagaraja, Purandardasa, or Mirabai, Tulasidasa, or Tukaram, Namdev, you name. Absolutely there is no difference. There is only one supreme reality, and he is the only one, and there is nobody else. And the final realization, Anal Haq, I am the truth. And because of that, I am Allah, I am the truth. Orthodox Muslims is blasphemy, and they tortured. Same thing will go on in future also. Everybody thinks this, but these people do not think that it is harming themselves more than anybody else. But according to Hinduism, even they are children of immortality. Sooner or later, through punishment, their eyes will be made to open after getting so much of torture. So this is what Pitamaha is telling, that it doesn't matter what religion one follows, what path, what yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, jnana, it is fanaticism to say only one path is the only path for realization. Every other path is only a side road leading to the main road. Whether a devotee says that, or whether some other follower of yoga says that, they are all wrong. There are infinite paths to infinite realization. And these are the very pillars, 4 pillars, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana and Yoga. Or if you want to rephrase them, that Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And then Pitamaha instructs, there is no other way. Na karmana, not karma yoga is okay, not karma. Na prajaya, by any amount of sacrifices, dhanena, or any amount of wealth, but tyagena eke amrutatva manashu. Some people attain to that state of immortality only through the path of tyaga. What is tyaga? The renunciation of ahankara. Aham is Brahman. Ahankara, that is adding limitation to the unlimited. Whatever is added to aham, aham dehaha, aham manaha, aham buddhihi, mano buddhyahankara chittani naham. Everything has to be denied. That is called tyaga. That's what Sri Ramakrishna said. If you repeat the word Gita very fast a few times, then tagi. Tagi means by renunciate. Renouncing what? Not torturing the body or mind or people, but giving of that ahankara. What is ahankara? I belong to God through Bhakti Yoga, or I am Brahman through Jnana Yoga. It doesn't matter. Tyage naike. Then Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha Sannyasa Yogat Yatayah Shuddha Sattvaha Te Brahmalokeshu Paranta Kale Paramrutaha Parimuchyanti Sarve. So Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha. Those who understood the final conclusion of Vedanta and realized it, Sannyasa Yogat, and they renounced all other types of knowledge, excepting that Aham Brahmasmi, Yatayaha, those who strive sincerely endowed with Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana and Yoga, what do they become? Shuddha Sattvaha. They finally attain to that knowledge, pure knowledge. What is that? Aham Brahmasmi. That is implied here in this mantra. So, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam. I am in every being. This is also called the path of dharma. If you ask people what is dharma, they have no idea. This is the definition of dharma. Dharma means morality. What is the morality? I should not kill others. Why should not I kill others? Because I am not killing any other person. I am killing myself. That body is mine. That mind is mine. And if we do not like this statement, that body belongs to God. Isavasyamedagum sarvam. That mind belongs to God. And that person's very life belongs to God. That is how we say, I am in every being. And all beings are no different from me. Sarva bhutani cha atmani. There is no difference. I remember a beautiful saying of a Jewish teacher. They are called rabbis. One ordinary person came and approached a rabbi and said, Sir, I don't have so much of either time or intelligence to grasp your wrangles about the philosophy of Judaism. Tell me in simple, understandable words. And the rabbi was very, very wise. So he simply said that do not do unto others what you do not wish others to do. Do always to others what you wish others to do to you. And the rest is commentary. This is the essence of any ism. Hinduism, Judaism, Mohammedanism, or Christianity, or Buddhism, any ism. And rest is commentary. That is being put here in this 10th mantra. Sarva bhutastam atman. There is nothing other than you. Sarva bhutana cha atmani. There is no other. You are everything. And then this is called Sampashyan Brahma. That is Sampashyan. Samyak Rupena Brahma Darshanam Kritva. That is go on seeing crystal clearly. This is called Darshanam. Brahma. Where? Sarva Bhutani. In every Bhuta. Everything. Living, non-living. Here Bhutani means, doesn't mean only the living. Even the earth. Even the water. Even the fire. Even the air. Even the space. What we call Pancha Bhuta Puja. Because it is the manifestation of God, and the whole universe, living, non-living, is a manifestation of these Panchabhutas. These Panchabhutas manifest in the form of inorganic. In course of time, they become organic. Then they go on developing from what you call plants, insects, animals, birds, finally human beings. Then 4 types of development in a human being. This, many people, modern people, do not understand the concept of caste at all. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. It has become useless type of caste by birth. It is completely wrong. So what does this mean? It means the spiritual development of the understanding of a person about himself. If it is in the lowest state, that is called Shudratvam. If it is slightly more better understanding, it's called Vaishya. And if it is still better understanding, with strength, with joy, with enthusiasm, with power, that is called Kshatriya. And slowly developing from there, and slowly progressing, evolving in knowledge, and finally, Brahma janati iti brahmanaha. When a person understands there is nothing excepting God, everything is God, that is called the 4 faculties. So, these castes are 4 faculties. Not only that, at any given time, every human being manifests these 4 faculties. I am just giving a hint how we should understand these castes. When a person feels like expressing joyfully in the form of work, and what is called without much thought, without much meaning, and 99% of the people are like that. They don't know what they are doing, like madcaps, like drunkards, going round and round a pillar, thinking that they are doing a lot of work. I remember a beautiful saying, perhaps, maybe it is in the gospel, I do not remember. There was a madcap, and he every day morning, he after getting up from wherever he was sleeping, he will go to the compound wall, outside the compound wall, or who used to manufacture liquor. And when the liquor is spoiled, they throw out the bottles. And this fellow goes on breaking the bottles. And from morning sunrise to sunset, he goes on. And as the sun is rising up and then setting, says, I cannot take any more of this labor. Oh, I am so tired. Oh God, when are you going to relieve me? And this is how he falls exhausted after sunset. Who asked him to go there? And what is the point of breaking these useless, thrown out bottles? He never thinks. He thinks that is supreme work, and if he doesn't do it, he becomes a derelict from his duty. And for most people, this work has become like alcohol. That is why Erich Fromm describes them workaholics. And that spirit is spreading. Ask a person to be working, he will be very happy. But ask the same person, why don't you read some better book? And then his mind becomes extremely restless. What is the purpose? I want to forget myself. And that is the real purpose of sadhana, to forget this limited I, to become identified. So by engaged in work, the person doesn't get bored, because to be in his own presence is the greatest boredom in this world. Whenever we do any meaningless work, that is, we are Shudras. But then, when we have a purposeful work, you see, I want to achieve this goal, I want to be happy, I want to have more wealth. And then that purposeful, profitable idea, and he will not do anything which will not serve that purpose. And that is called Vaishyatva, the business mentality within us. And when the same person, after maybe many births, he becomes more refined, says that I have some ideals. What is the point of, I have earned so much, I have enjoyed so much, now it becomes really tiring. So I want to live a higher ideal life. And then he requires tremendous amount of mental strength, physical strength, and intellectual strength, and of course moral strength. All types of strengths are necessary, and that capacity slowly to acquire that strength through proper exercise, then we become Kshatriyas. And this stage will come in the life of everybody. So when such a thing possesses a person, he can be called a Kshatriya, doesn't matter where he is born. Anybody who has strength, anybody who has power, but doesn't have that high ideal, you can call him a politician, an evil fellow, a dictator, but never a Kshatriya. Only when a person grows in ananda, in strength, in high idealism, higher understanding, that is a stage which everybody should come to, develop or evolve into. This is called Kshatriyatvam. And then ultimately a person, he realizes this is all futile exercise. I want to withdraw into myself. And that process of withdrawal, and then focusing the mind on the inner reality, that is called the beginning of the journey to real Brahmanatvam. And finally, Bahunam Janmanamante Gnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevaha Sarvam iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. So that is what the person will gain. These are the 4 castes, are nothing but 4 stages of spiritual life within us. Maybe a little bit far-fetched, but the same idea perhaps we can imply in the idea of ashramas, not only varnas, but also ashramas. Maybe, and that's why I'm telling, you'll have to think about it. Brahmacharya ashrama may be Shudratva, because he has to sit under the feet of a teacher and he must go on learning. This process of learning is called Shudratvam, because he doesn't have learning. And once the person understands, he puts that learning into practice, experiments with it, gains or experiences both joy and suffering, and bitterness and sweetness, and learns his lessons, and slowly he seeks for higher ideal, he seeks to get out of this net, and that attempt to go beyond this grihastha-ashrama, then he is called a vanaprastha-ashrama. This is a spiritual development. And slowly he travels from inside to deeper inside until he realizes Brahman, and that is called sannyasi ashrama, sannyasa ashrama, atyashrama. Very beautifully put. Atyashrama means he goes beyond brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, including sannyasa ashrama. He is called Paramahamsa. So this is another way of interpreting who is a Shudra, who is a Kshatriya, who is a Vaishya, who is a Kshatriya, and who is a Brahmana. All these beautiful ideas are compressed in this mantra in everywhere, in practically every Upanishad. Sarvabhutastam Atmanam, because everybody, every prani is either a Shudra, or a Vaishya, or a Kshatriya, or a Brahmana. That is, at different stages of spiritual evolution. But all of them are none other than my own self, or the Divine Lord is acting out. When a person understands this, I am the one who is in the Shudra state, I am the one who is in the Vaishya state, who is in the Kshatriya state, who is in the Brahmana state. When a person realizes, and he goes beyond all duality, and then what does he do? Sampashyan Brahma. He becomes one. Pashyan means seeing. Here it is not seeing. It is samyak rupena pashyan. That is, he becomes one with the truth as it is. This is called Brahmavit apnoti param. Brahmavit Brahma eva bhavati. And that is the supreme goal in life. And only through Shraddha, Bhakti, etc., only through this knowledge that no other thing exists excepting God, excepting Brahman, through that the person goes beyond all fetters, and there is no other path. You can take any path, but that every path should lead us to that one ultimate goal. And how to go about it? What is the way a person can really do it? Sadhana part again, he is going to teach from 11th to almost 14th. By the way, there are only few mantras left out, and we will explore them tomorrow's class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti Jai Ramakrishna.